Imagine this. You're in a room full of ambitious people, all striving for success. Some play fair, work hard, and stay true to their values. Others lie, manipulate, and trample over anyone in their way. Yet, it's often the ruthless who climb the highest. Why? Is the world truly rigged in favor of the worst among us? History, politics, business, everywhere you look, there are individuals who, despite their lack of morality, have achieved extraordinary power. From ruthless emperors to cutthroat CEOs, the pattern repeats itself. But this isn't just a coincidence. It's a fundamental feature of human nature, embedded deep within our evolutionary psychology and social structures. In a world where resources are scarce, competition is inevitable. Those who hesitate, who seek fairness at every turn, often find themselves left behind. Meanwhile, those willing to exploit, deceive, and dominate rise to the top. This harsh reality forces us to confront an uncomfortable question. Is morality a weakness in the game of power? Yet, history also tells us another story. While the worst people often succeed in the short term, their downfall is just as common. The question isn't just why they rise, but whether their success is sustainable. More importantly, what does this mean for those of us who refuse to abandon our principles? Friedrich Nietzsche saw power as an undeniable force of life, neither good nor evil in itself, but simply a truth of existence. To understand why ruthless individuals succeed, we must first understand the nature of power itself. This leads us to one of Nietzsche's most controversial ideas: master morality versus slave morality. Imagine two warriors on a battlefield. One is strong, decisive, and fearless. He takes what he wants, shapes the world at his will, and does not ask for permission. The other is hesitant, waiting for external validation, seeking fairness, and hoping the world will reward his virtue. Which of these two is more likely to survive? Which is more likely to rule? Nietzsche argued that morality is not a universal truth, but a product of power struggles throughout history. He identified two fundamental moral systems. Master morality, the morality of the strong, the rulers, the conquerors. It values strength, ambition, and power. Masters define their own worth, take responsibility for their destiny, and do not see weakness as something to be protected, only something to be overcome. Slave morality, the morality of the oppressed, the powerless, those who cannot impose their will directly. Instead of celebrating strength, it glorifies humility, obedience, and self-sacrifice. It teaches that suffering is noble and that power is inherently evil. Nietzsche saw this as a moral system created by those who lack the ability to dominate, a psychological adaptation for survival in a world controlled by the strong. The uncomfortable truth? Slave morality does not prevent the rise of the ruthless. It enables it. By condemning ambition and shaming the pursuit of power, it leaves control in the hands of those who do not care about morality at all. While the noble-hearted hesitate, those who embrace master morality seize control. Beneath the laws and social contracts we rely on, the primal battle for survival still rages. Those who rise to power often share a defining trait: ruthlessness. Not necessarily cruelty, but the ability to act decisively, unburdened by hesitation or guilt. Psychologists have studied the traits that predict success in competitive environments, and the same patterns emerge time and time again. High ambition, low sensitivity to fear, a reduced sense of empathy for those who stand in their way. This does not mean all powerful people are psychopaths, but it does mean that many possess traits that allow them to act without the emotional constraints that hold others back. Consider the leaders, entrepreneurs, and conquerors who have reshaped history, from Julius Caesar to modern business moguls. Hesitation is a liability. Power is taken, not given. But here's the paradox. Ruthlessness alone is not enough. Those who wield power without wisdom often face spectacular downfalls. History is littered with tyrants who believe they were invincible until they weren't. Many believe that the world is fair, that good people are rewarded, and that justice prevails. But reality contradicts this comforting illusion. The hardest workers are not always the wealthiest. The most honest do not always lead. The kindest hearts are often the most broken. The just world fallacy is a psychological tendency to believe that people get what they deserve. But this belief is dangerous. It encourages passivity. If we assume goodness alone leads to success, we ignore the realities of competition, strategy, and power. While we wait for justice, those who reject this illusion are already moving forward. Does this mean we must abandon morality entirely? Not necessarily. Most people believe they only have two choices. 1, be ruthless. 2, be a victim. But there's a third path, one that blends strategic thinking with integrity. Nietzsche's philosophy was not about blind domination. It was about transcending weakness while maintaining authenticity. Here's how. Stop expecting fairness. The strongest competitors accept early on that life is not fair. They don't waste time complaining about injustice. They learn the rules of the game and use them to their advantage. Embrace strategic empathy. Understanding the motives of others and anticipating their moves allows you to navigate deception without becoming deceptive yourself. Develop internal power. The most successful individuals do not seek permission. They create opportunities where none exist. Distinguish between mindless ruthlessness and controlled decisiveness. Strength is not about unnecessary cruelty. It's about making the hard choices when required. Build, don't just take. The ruthless rise fast but often fall hard. Their power is built on exploitation, not creation. True power is earned, not stolen. Nietzsche introduced the concept of the Übermensch, Overman, the individual who transcends conventional morality and limitations. The Übermensch does not seek validation or conform to societal expectations. They do not rely on deception or oppression because their power is self-generated. Unlike the ruthless, who rise to manipulation, the Übermensch plays the infinite game, building something greater than themselves. They understand that power is not evil. It is a tool. And those who master it without being enslaved by it are the ones who rewrite the rules. So, can you succeed in a world that rewards the ruthless? Absolutely, but only if you stop playing by the old rules. Stop expecting fairness. Start mastering power on your own terms. Nietzsche's challenge to us is this. Power is neither good nor evil. It is simply misunderstood. It can corrupt, but it can also create. The key is to wield it with discipline, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to becoming more than you are today. If this exploration of power and success has made you think, challenge your assumptions, and sparked a deeper curiosity about life and philosophy, then it's time to take the next step. Master the game, not just to survive, but to shape the world on your own terms.